Hello everybody, this is Mithril Zenith, and welcome back to the weapon discussion series where I talk about some weapons in the Fire Emblem series, about how strong or how weak they are, about how much they impact the game, about how game-breaking they are or are not. And today we're talking about one of the more interesting weapons in the series, the Longbow. Now, longbows, generally when they're introduced, they are not super powerful, they're strong enough, maybe a little bit inaccurate for bows. They're, but their biggest impact is access to 2 to 3 range. That extra point of higher range for a longbow is meant to introduce new strategies for the player, or for the enemy. Longbow snipers in alcoves can shoot at 3 range, avoiding 1-2 range. Longbows are Fire Emblem's answer to javelins in the ever-increasing range war that is the difference between 1 range, 2 range, 1-2 range. Now we have 2-3 range with the longbow. Longbows were first introduced in the Binding Blade, where they had 5 might, 10 weight, 55 hit, 2 to 3 range, 20 uses. Were a little expensive, a little rarer, dealt bonus damage to flying units like every bow. They mostly stayed the same in Blazing Blade and Sacred Stones, just gaining the 10 points of hit that every weapon got. Path of Radiance, they existed. They did not exist in Radiant Dawn. There was no longbow there. Instead, they just gave the 2-3 range ability to all units who hit the Marksman class, the Tier 3 Archer class. Shadow Dragon, they brought longbows into Arcanea. They were significantly stronger. 8 might, 8 weight, 70 hit, 2-3 range, 25 uses, and they could be forged. Forging is something I'll get into later when we talk about something like the Wing Spear, or just Shadow Dragon as a whole, but forging a longbow, being able to give it up to plus 10 might, making it 18 damage, in a game where archers are already pretty good because it's such a player phase focused game, made longbows really strong. New Mystery of the Emblem, it stayed the same, they just took out weapon weight. Awakening, it got even slightly stronger, though, what's its limitation? Archers and snipers only. They introduced some more units that could use bows, and with like warriors using bows and other stuff, they wanted to be, hey, here's a reason to use a sniper, have a longbow, even though the game wasn't really designed with longbows in mind. Shadows of Valentia, longbow was pretty weak. All archers had massive range. This just gave you an extra range on it. Encloser was a nice combat art, though. And then 3 houses. Longbow. Solid smite, solid hit rate. Again, the extra range. You had archers that could attack from quite a bit bigger range. But longbows did further increase the range. So you could attack at like 8 or 9 range. I forget exactly. With a Deadeye or Longshot longbow user. Longbows have always been interesting. They've always been a niche unit, niche weapon. They've never been great, but they've always been. Whenever they're there, you always kind of feel like, yeah, I might as well give my unit one, see what I can do with it. I think the strongest longbows have ever been has probably been in Shadow Dragon, simply because you can forge them with plus 10 might. And give them to units that can then break the game because the game was not designed with longbows in mind. For instance, you can kill Medius with a forged longbow on a sniper, and he can't counter you because he has 1-2 range. Granted, Shadow Dragon also mitigated the usefulness of longbows by introducing playable ballista with permanent 3 to 10 range. So there's that. I think the longbow is a decent idea. I think that in practice it rarely gets to shine. Because where a longbow is useful is in finding a niche that you can't do with something else. Every once in a while, a longbow will give you an opportunity to hit a unit from outside of their range if they have 1-2 range. Will give you an opportunity to have your archer attack at extra range, giving you another unit that can attack something. But what are you attacking that's requiring like 4 units already attacking them and they can't break through, you know? How much is a longbow going to help with 5 might on an archer, which archers are generally not super high strength units? And it's D rank, so you could get like a warrior leveled up to be able to use a longbow, but it's not ideal. It's going to be kind of hard going to do that. I think longbows are interesting, but longbows really require the map to be designed in a way to make the longbow useful. I would love to see in future Fire Emblem games enemies where they are positioned 2 tiles away from a wall, and so you can only reliably hit them with a longbow instead of a javelin or a regular bow. I'd love to see more of that. I'd love to see more niche cases that make you want to use a longbow. I think that's really the problem with a longbow, is that there's not enough places that the game encourages you to use one. Because it's great, I don't think it's problematic. I think the longbow just needs an opportunity to take its shot, if you will. But anyway, what are your thoughts on the longbow? Leave a comment down below saying where you found use with the longbow. What's been the most useful longbow shot you've ever made? Generally, what do you do with your longbows when you get them? Do you not even use archers at all? Subscribe to the channel for more weapon analysis videos. Leave a comment down below what weapon you'd like to see me talk about next. And until next time, this is Mythful Zenith signing out.